This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the speakers.
Welcome to Positively on the Spectrum, our podcast where we put a positive spin on life on the spectrum. Finding your village and navigating neurodiversity. We aren't experts, but we're in it together.
We are. Do you know, one thing that I have found like super helpful, and I think I've touched on this before, is just like the rise of information and sharing across social media of other families and other children's circumstances and information, that kind of thing as well.
Just like what we're doing right now.
Well, yeah, that is true. I mean, I think years ago you wouldn't have had the same, and I think it helps people not feel alone. Like, I think it is really important to have that, like the media and that kind of thing, because there is so much rubbish within mainstream media news and that kind of thing. It's nice to be able to feel connected to other families.
I know, and I think it's important to find somebody or a channel or an outlet that you trust that's actually loved it, because there's a lot of people out there who talk about it who sit behind a desk and have never been near an autistic person in their life.
People like the people that make decisions and
yeah
professionals.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying professionals haven't been near autistic people, but it's that lived experience that it just can't be replicated.
No.
And it's so different for every child. I mean, even across our families, we've both got two completely different children and their needs are completely different. So we are the experts, but we also need to, not comparison. I hate the idea of comparison, because I always say comparison is the thief of joy, because it really is. But I think just feeling heard and seen, and I think that's really important.
We've branched out and we're on TikTok now. So find us on TikTok.
We are, it's something that we'd thought about for a wee while, because
obviously we're already on Instagram, and then I kind of like TikTok for the fact of, I feel like it's easy because you just scroll, and I know that's got its whole downside to it. I had to remove the app for a while because I was doom scrolling, but I did come across pages initially when I first started my journey, and they were very helpful. And it is mums, it's dads as well, not just mums, but it's parents who are living it every single day, and that's the people I follow, because that's the people who know and who get it. And it also makes me grateful for a life that I've got, because there is families out there who have got it way harder than we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. And I think it's lovely that they feel they've got that outlet as well. And I think excuse me, sorry, I was a little worried and hesitant about TikTok because the trolling and the comments and stuff can be quite wild. But I think as long as you approach things with the idea that those people are only talking about their family and their experiences, they're not trying to give professional advice. And that's the same with us. Like, you know, I had a friend sort of say the other day how much she was enjoying the podcast because it's raw and it's real, and it's easy to listen to and it's relatable. And
it's funny, my sister-in-law said the exact same thing to me last night. She was like, you know, you don't come across as condescending, you don't come across as I know everything, you're just talking about what you've been through and from your perspective, and people can take that and run with it, you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I feel like with TikTok, it's easy to find a tribe. Like, people are more like kind of open, like you say, open, giving us their life's journeys, and it's nice to see other people's and then joining in on that and them joining in on ours as well.
Yeah, I think the engagement definitely is greater on TikTok because it's more modern and it's what people tend to use more nowadays. So it's definitely, you know, we've had a great uptake and it's a bit of fun as well.
I think,
you know, we are very much like positivity and that kind of thing. So Instagram will continue to sort of surround itself with like good mantras and positive quotes and things like that. And then on with the TikTok side, we can have a bit of fun and be able to chat and, you know, that kind of thing, which is good. But I do think as well, it might help help some people build their confidence. I find it definitely helped me build my confidence in talking to other people and stuff, because it made me realize I wasn't alone. So if there's all these people out there on the internet, there must be people around me that are in the same situation. And that's obviously how we came to meet each other, because we went to a course and that kind
Yeah.
of thing. And I mean, even just this morning, we've been to coffee with other parents and that kind of thing, which we've really enjoyed, and built quite good friendships out of that. And
Which was through a local support group as well, which I think is really important if you're looking round about your area for support. Have a wee look and see what support groups there is, and if you can just go and find an hour out your week to catch up with other mums, it really, really is. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Food for the soul.
Yeah,
it's food for your soul, I feel. And even if it's a moan for an hour, they just get it.
Yeah, a problem shared is a problem halved.
And I learned so much this morning from other mums that I'd never met before, and I wouldn't have had the confidence to do that only through going to the courses that I met you on. And it's not just an instant thing. It will. And there's always a quiet ones in a group as well.
Yeah, but also if you're not the quiet one and there isn't a group in your area, start one. Just a casual coffee. You can start a Facebook group. It takes nothing to start a Facebook group, really. Or even
any platform that you're on, just look for people around about you and see if people will take you up.
And if you are in a, like, let us know where you are, because I do know of quite a lot of groups in different areas all over the country.
That's it. You've, like, on your journey so far, you've reached, how far away have you reached to?
Pretty far. So, well, I mean, yeah, from where we are in Scotland, like I've got a friend, a very close friend, who's just starting a group in Fife, and I know the girls that run a group in Ayrshire, and I know we've got sort of audience from all over the world, but I do know lots of groups in England as well. So definitely let us know where you are, and if you are looking for a group, and we can either help find you one, or I may already know of one.
Point you in the right direction.
Yeah, or feel free to start one.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
it's like us starting a podcast. We talked about it, and then we were just like, are we going to do it? And we not. We just went for it.
Yeah, just
and we enjoy it, and that's why we do it.
Yeah. And it definitely fills my cup, like, absolutely. And to be honest, it's no different from us just going and sitting and having a coffee. It's just that we kind of try to chat around certain topics because we feel that would be helpful to people. So I think what I was saying there about a problem shared is a problem halved. Like, I think you'll find a lot of people are going through the same things at the same times, but they feel like they're doing it on their own. So, for example, like waiting lists, or waiting for answers to come back from, we call it a forum here, so somebody that's sitting on a panel deciding the future for our children. And if we're sort of, this morning you were chatting to two other people who actually you'd never met before, but are literally in the same position as you are right now, which is difficult. Like, it's a difficult time. It's a difficult time to have things in limbo. I remember it myself with my oldest, when we had applied for a specialist school placement for her, and the waiting was difficult, because you didn't have the opportunity to get excited about buying school uniforms. And because usually the place where you live is where your child is going to go to school. It's either one or the other, basically. So you get excited about, oh, they're going to be in this uniform, and they're going to go to this school, and we're going to do this and that, and they're going to school with their friends that are at nursery. So it does kind of, the waiting does kind of steal that joy a little bit.
Absolutely. It's been one of the most stressful things that I've encountered so far on my journey. And I think that's a whole nother podcast that we can do and touch on, because I feel like I could run for days on it. But yeah, we are in the thick of that at the moment, and it is hard. Really hard. But it's good. But that's what we're trying to say. It's the coffee mornings or the meetups are great, because I get a chance to speak to other people who are in the same position as me, and it makes me feel a bit better knowing I'm not the only one. And also, we were all getting the same feedback from the same place, so it's not like they were told one thing and I was told another. Do you know what way? You're kind of sitting there thinking, are they just palming you off? Are they just telling you this? Are they just telling you that?
And that does happen as well. Like,
and your mind runs away with itself as much as you try not to, depending on what kind of person you are.
Especially if your child is in a setting that isn't 100% suitable, you are trusting the people around him to keep him safe every single day, and they're doing a wonderful job. But
But they've also admitted that it's not the best place for them to be. So
Yeah.
I need a answer to come back.
Mm-hmm.
The right answer.
The right answer, yeah.
The right answer.
And you know, like you say, you've done everything and kept to everybody's timelines and done all the paperwork and all that sort of stuff. So it is
It's time that they hold up their side of the bargain and they come back with a timely answer.
And unfortunately, this scenario is not unique to you. It's not unique to where we are in the UK. It's not unique to where anybody is in the world, as far as my understanding goes. It's you know, there's people that are sitting on a panel, and yes, I'm sure they do have children's best interests at heart, the children, but I do think that they need to think about the parents at home that are the ones stressed and worried, because the kids aren't worried.
No,
the kids are fine.
And this is what I was talking about the other night with my friend. I'm like, it's hard enough having a child that's not meeting they're not meeting their milestones and they need extra support, and accepting that and going down that journey.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's hard for me not to get upset about stuff like this, but
then to have all these extra hurdles.
It's true, and it's raw, and it's like, you've accepted that, and it's like, right, okay, so a mainstream nursery cannot support him, and they've admitted that, and then you are like, right, so we need to look at a specialist setting, and it should just be a case of, that's the biggest hurdle, is accepting that your child is not going to thrive in a mainstream environment and they have to go to a specialist setting. But it's not starting, that's the end. It's just literally first hurdle. And then it's getting all this information together, having all these professionals come in and evaluate your child and basically back up that you're not making this stuff up, that your child needs a specialist placement. Why would you anyway? And then you're like meetings after meetings after meetings, which is all stress within itself. Then they gather all this information and then they turn around and say, right, okay, we now have enough information. The next hurdle for you to jump through is to wait for panel. And then the panel sits in 3 to 4 months' time. So for 3 to 4 months, you're sitting there knowing that your child is not in the best environment for them to thrive in. They're still safe and they're still happy, but it's not the environment that they're thriving in. So that's months have passed, and then it goes to panel, and then you have to then wait on the panel, obviously doing their paperwork side of things, and then letting the establishment know, and then them letting you know. And it's just months and months and months, and it's build up and build up, and it is emotionally exhausting and stressful as hell, and I just cannot wait until I get my answer. And then that's like, even if I get the answer that I'm looking for, and if I don't get the answer I'm looking for, I'm then going down a whole nother route. And I am not alone in this. Around the table this morning there was at least 3 people in the exact same position as me. And I think that this is where education needs to have a look at a way that they do things. And I know what the problem is. We all know what the problem is. There is just not the space. Do you know what I mean? There's just no space. They've got a nursery that is suitable, a specialist nursery placement, but they can only take on, say, 20 kids. And again, how many kids are on a panel? 40. So even if my child gets a space, somebody else's child isn't. And that's just not right. Yeah, and it's the same in all authorities as well. And that's what I mean. It's like a whole government issue. Like, they need to to sit down and they need to think about going forward, and they need to start making a plan, because what they're doing right now is cruel. In my eyes, it's absolutely cruel. My life and the journey that I'm on is emotionally taxing and difficult as it is, without this added pressure and stress. Absolutely. And I think as well, it's quite difficult because some of his needs are very obvious, and there's lots of children whose needs aren't as obvious, like my youngest, for example. Her needs aren't as obvious, and it's not a safety thing, but she does still need certain supports that need to be put into place in order for her to thrive, not just survive. And this is, I'm talking now about P1, the school. And I don't feel like you're alone in that fight. And I think the fight is sometimes even bigger, because it's even bigger to even get to the point of convincing people that they need to apply for the support, which is, really difficult, and really, it must be hard to manage, because the volume is increasing so rapidly. Somebody's job is to look over the last 10, 15 years, the amount of kids that are coming through the system that are autistic or additional support needs, and look and see that the nurseries that we currently have cannot meet their needs.
Yeah.
It just doesn't take a rocket scientist to work that out. And that's the frustrating bit about it. This hasn't just happened overnight.
That's right.
This has been happening for years and years and years, and now it's an absolute breaking point.
Yeah.
It's getting down to the fact now of kids are not getting what they need. And there is going to be people who get phone calls this week and it's not the answer that they're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's just not right. Absolutely not right. Every kid deserves an education, and some kids just aren't going to get the one that they deserve and need.
It is. It's really the difficulties as well. Even once they go into that setting, sometimes it's not. It's
it doesn't stop there. It's just one part, and it's a part that I'm in the thick of right now, and I feel so passionately about it because I am in the thick of it, and that's why when we do these podcasts or videos or whatever, I will only speak about stuff I know. I will not speak on subjects that I know nothing about or I've never lived through, because I would never be condescending like that. I totally sympathise with people and I get it, and I listen to people because I never know where my journey is going to lead, and I may end up in that position, but if I've not been in that position, I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah, agreed.
And that's why I feel so strongly about speaking about this today, is because I'm in the thick of it, and it has totally drained me over these past few months, but especially this week.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty clear that so many people are in this position, and it's a big part of the journey that maybe people don't talk about as much, because we tend to talk about our children and the journey that they're on, but it's such a massive part of it, alongside appointments and therapies and things like that as well. So I think it's something that we probably will talk about again, like going forward. So if there's anything that you have experienced and you want to share, and it's something that you'd like us to chat about, if it's something we've been through, we would love to do that. Obviously comment below. You can find us on Instagram, Positively on the Spectrum, and now on TikTok as well.
Yeah,
Positively on the Spectrum. So you'll probably get to see a bit more of our personalities on that side, because we'll, that's a bit more fun and that kind of thing. So if there's anything you want to see, or if there's anything that you see, definitely tag us in the videos, share them with us. We'd love to see it. But yeah, I think we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully
I'll be in a better mood
with a good answer. Hopefully everything will have fallen into place. Yes, everything will have fallen into place.
Yes. See you later.
Take care. Bye.